Yes. I welcome you all to this full moon session. Rohit, for information to you and also for the benefit of our audience, DSPPL is working for the holistic development of children and the youth. And as a part of that, this social forum has been introduced by Ajit sir. And on this forum, experts from different forums, experts from the different fields, we invite them so that they can share their experience on this particular forum, and that can give a different way of looking at the career, a different way of looking at the life of the children and the youth. तो हम अलग अलग एक्सपर्ट्स को ये फोरम पे इनवाइट करते हैं और वो उनके एक्सपीरियंसेस यहाँ पे शेयर का फायदा सारे लोगों को मिले, जिंदगी की तरफ, करियर की तरफ देखने का एक और नजरिया मिले, ये इसका एक मूल उद्देश्य है, मूल हेतु है. तो आई वेलकम रोहित टू यू as a speaker for this today's session. I will make brief introduction for Rohit. So Rohit is basically MBA Finance. He has done his MBA Finance from ICFAI, but basically he is a sportsman. जैसे कि आप सब लोगों को पता होगा, फ्लायर में भी हमने बोला था. He is a Ranji cricket player, represented Maharashtra. He is a India player, under 19 he has represented India in cricket. और आप में से बहुत लोगों को शायद पता नहीं होगा, also represented state of Maharashtra for the sports खो खो. तो अंडर 19 के खो खो नेशनल्स पे भी उन्होंने पार्टिसिपेट किया है. अंडर 19 क्रिकेट जब इंडिया उन्होंने रिप्रेजेंट किया, देन ही हैज प्लेड अलोंग विद पार्थिव पटेल, गौतम गंभीर, अमित मिश्रा. लोगों को सुन के बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. और रोहित, आई विल रिक्वेस्ट यू, आप ऐसे एक्सपीरियंसेस भी शेयर करना कि इन लोगों के साथ, बिकॉज दीज आर वेरी पॉपुलर नेम्स. एंड ही हैज आल्सो रिप्रेजेंटेड वन इंग्लैंड क्लब, क्रू डोनाल्ड क्रिकेट क्लब, जो नॉर्दर्न आयरलैंड में है. वहां से भी उन्होंने स्पोर्ट्स क्रिकेट खेला है. तो रोहित, वेलकम टू यू ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर फोरम. आज आपसे जानने की कोशिश करेंगे कि आज तो आप सिंजेंटा में, एक एमएनसी में ग्लोबल रिपोर्टिंग लीड, ये रोल में आप जॉब कर रहे हो, और आपका जो बैकग्राउंड है वो सारा स्पोर्ट्स का बैकग्राउंड है. आप क्रिकेट खेले, रणजी खेले, महाराष्ट्र को रिप्रेजेंट किया, इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट किया. क्रिकेट का बहुत ही ग्लैमर है, बच्चों में क्रेज भी है. पर फिर वो एक जगह पे क्रिकेट से आप कॉर्पोरेट में कैसे शिफ्ट हुए? कॉर्पोरेट में जाने के बाद आपका एक्सपीरियंस, आपका अनुभव कैसा रहा? क्या वो क्रिकेट में जो आप खेले थे, जो भी स्पोर्ट्स के आपके अनुभव थे, उसका कुछ फायदा कॉर्पोरेट करियर में भी आपको हुआ, होता है आज भी? अगर होता है तो कैसे, किस किस मायने से वो आप उसकी तरफ देखते हैं? तो ये सारी आपकी जर्नी हम सुनेंगे. आपके लिए कुछ क्वेश्चंस भी हमने तैयार रखे हैं पूछने के लिए. हमारे जो ऑडियंस है वो भी आपको क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे. सो ओवर टू यू, फोरम इज ओपन. थैंक यू.
Sure. Thank you, Pranjal. Thank you, DSPPL colleagues and organizers. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you, DSPPL, and for all presenting me with this opportunity to share my experience about how sports has helped me in my corporate journey and in my career development so far. I sincerely hope whatever I'm going to share, my experience will add value to your career journey. Now, I've just prepared a couple of slides. I mean, I'm not a presentation person, but I've just made a couple of slides which probably will help me remember what I have achieved, or probably how I have gone through this journey. So I'm just going to share my screen, and maybe I'll elaborate more on how this cricket, my sporting background, has helped me relate to my corporate lives as of now. So let me just share my screen. Is my screen visible, Pranjal? Can you just confirm?
Yes.
Okay, let me put it on presentation mode. Okay, all right. So, okay, as Mr. Pranjal has already introduced me, I mean, I'll not spend too much time on this slide. So let me just directly jump onto the slide number 2. Okay, so here I start. Let me just give you a brief background about how I was introduced to sports and started playing cricket and Kho-Kho. From the beginning, my parents and my friends had a huge influence on me joining a sport or joining any physical activity. My parents just wouldn't want me sitting idle at home in the evenings. I mean, if I look back, in initial few years, in fact, their efforts were more in introducing me to the physical activity than my efforts. My father, like any other Indian, a great cricket enthusiast, would often take me around the nearby grounds, and he would introduce me to the local cricket matches. I guess that was a spark, a motivation which I was needed, because I could see, young people playing on the ground. I think they were enjoying. I mean, more than anything else, I saw that those guys were happy. Even they were sweating out the entire day in the sun. I mean, at the end of the day, they were really happy. That motivated me, and I started attending, summer cricket classes, and that just kept on building my interest in cricket. From only summers, for me, it became 12 months activity. And, somewhere down few years line, couple of years after when I started playing cricket, I was able to judge that I have that something which probably requires one to represent at competitive level. Similar was the case with Kho-Kho as well. Pranjal is senior to me. We've come from the same school. We played Kho-Kho together. So I can also name him as one of my influencers to why I turned to Kho-Kho as well. I knew my schoolmates were spending few hours every evening on the ground playing Kho-Kho, and I just happened to join them. I mean, there was no other motivation or no other interest in it. I had no clue what Kho-Kho was, to be very honest. I guess I just started playing Kho-Kho, so just that I spent some more time with my friends. I mean, that is what you can hope for, right? In your young age, you just want to be with your friends as much as time you can. And this is how I started. And after playing cricket and Kho-Kho for almost 15 years, I'm trying to implement some of those skills which sports taught me in my corporate job. I think I've just listed some of them on the screen right now, but I think that is not the exhaustive list. Obviously, I thought about few things and then I just narrowed down on this list. In my opinion, other than giving you a fit body, sports teaches you a lot many things like discipline, hard work, communication. With sports, I learned the time management, even though still some of friends complain that I'm never on time when they're calling me. But I would like to stick to it that I have learned time management. I've learned to be more resilient. I've learned teamwork. I think in my view, teamwork is by far the most important skill which sports can teach you. Also collaboration and much more things. I mean, I can go on and the list just will continue. I mean, sport just not helps one to be healthy. I mean, when we talk about physical activity or sports, I think most of us say that it keeps our body healthy. But it also, shows us how we can enjoy the good times. It teaches us how we can enjoy good times, how we can celebrate. And also, importantly, it teaches us how we can deal with hard times, sorrow times. Although I'm not playing cricket, anymore at competitive level, looking back at my, sporting career, I can proudly state that sports taught me a lot more than what I, initially thought. In young age, sports for me were just a physical activity. I had never thought about anything else. I never thought that this would give me, the edge in my, corporate life or the career development. It was just that I could spend some more time with my friends and to be very honest, a time away from my studies. In the hindsight, playing cricket helped me build character. I think that is really important in today's corporate life. One has to have a good character, and it's not easy to build your character. It also taught me, to stay focused and learn all those hugely important skills required to be, successful or achieve decent enough positions in corporate environment. I guess I wouldn't have learned the skills or the qualities, which you see on the screen right now in any classroom. Let me now try to, elaborate how the skills I learned from sports are, interlinked or connected with my corporate life and career development so far. out of this list, I have not sorted it out on the priority, but I think attitude is probably one of the top 3 qualities which I see. And most importantly, attitude, playing sport plays a critical role in building one's attitude, be it sports or corporate life. Your attitude can make or simply break your career. I have always heard this, that a skill can be taught, but you can't teach attitude to someone. It's basically, in my opinion, an outcome of commitment, a dedication, or the hard work which you basically put in over and over again for a period of time. So it's not just something which you can have it overnight. You just wake up next morning and you have the attitude. That is not how it works. In today's corporate world, attitude has a tremendous importance. If you have a good attitude, if you have a positive attitude, companies, organizations are willing to invest in you. They will provide you ample opportunities to grow, and sky is the limit in that case. A positive attitude in workplace, हमारी ऑफिस एक्टिविटीज और टास्क्स को तेजी से या बेहतर तरीके से पूरा करने में इट हेल्प्स. एज एन इंडिविजुअल, योर परफॉर्मेंस, हमारा प्रदर्शन काफी हद तक हमारी कलीग्स के रिलेशंस पे निर्भर होता है. इफ यू हैव अ गुड रिलेशंस, इट हेल्प्स. एक अच्छा रिलेशन तभी बन सकता है जब हम अपने कलीग के प्रति पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड दिखा सकते हैं. थ्रू दिस पॉजिटिव एनर्जी, लाइक आई सेड, काम, वर्क डज नॉट रिमेन वर्क. काम एक काम नहीं रहता है, तो एक आनंद बन जाता है. और उससे क्या होता है, उससे इट हेल्प्स अस अचीव आवर गोल्स, आवर टारगेट्स. Positive attitude has a significant benefits for an individual in not just corporate or sports environment, but all aspects, all aspects. Moving on to the leadership, I think I would take a couple of examples here, more prominently to sports and something which is outside the sport. Because I have played cricket, I have been the captain of the cricket team, so I can closely relate to it. Just like any captain of a cricket team knows what's best for the team, in completely different field of work in corporate life, it can build the knowledge which helps me recognize if something is wrong with my team, something is wrong with my colleague. मेरे colleague के साथ कुछ गड़बड़ हो रही है क्या, whether is emotionally down, उसको कुछ तकलीफ है क्या, उसे मेरी कुछ मदद चाहिए क्या. I think playing sport can somehow help you, with that skill, कि आप उससे जाके बात कर सकते हो कि कुछ चाहिए क्या, हेल्प चाहिए क्या, whether you are struggling in your personal life, whether you are struggling in your professional life, what help do you need. I can fairly judge how my team and colleagues are doing, and what issues they might be dealing with. Of course, I don't know the issues, but I can sense that उनको कुछ तकलीफ हो रही है. When times are hard, these individuals, the leaders, they are expected to step up and lead their teams. I think they have to lead by the example. एक leader, एक CEO, manager, या फिर head of the team के किसी भी designation या form में हो सकता है. See, a leader does not need to have a designation or a degree next to it. They are very valuable for the success of the organization. I always, I've heard this in some of the corporate presentations or the corporate sessions which I have attended, where it was prominently mentioned by some of the presenters that जहाज का कप्तान जैसे अपनी जहाज को सुरक्षित रूप से मार्गदर्शन करता है, and it's the कप्तान की जॉब, वो जिम्मेदारी होती है कि he does not leave that ship until it's at the safely, जब तक वो safely तट तक पहुंचाता नहीं है. वैसे ही leader shows the way to its team when there are difficult times, and he should lead from the front. Leaders' actions in business can definitely change the dynamics of it, and they can also shape how the business is being run. ये जो leadership skills जो है, which I somehow subconsciously gained by playing sport, I think it helped me to motivate my colleagues, inspire my colleagues in my job. This is very critical responsibility of a leader. So leader can I mean, you will be only called leader if you are taking people with you, you are able to inspire them, you are able to motivate them. तभी ये नेतृत्व की
रोहित, मैं बीच में क्वेश्चंस पूछना चाहूंगा.
श्योर.
मतलब आप अभी इंडिया रिप्रेजेंट किया, क्रिकेट में गए, रणजी खेले, तो ये तो सब ठीक है, एटीट्यूड चाहिए, लीडरशिप चाहिए, टीम वर्क चाहिए, पर आपको कभी रॉन्ग अंपायरिंग का शिकार नहीं होना पड़ा, पॉलिटिक्स का शिकार नहीं होना पड़ा?
सी होना पड़ा. आई थिंक आई विल बी लाइंग इफ आई से नो. होना पड़ता है. आई मीन यू गेट रॉन्ग डिसीजंस. You there is politics everywhere, let's be very honest, sports or corporate life, but what is important is that you don't get dejected with that. So you should take it as a motivation in a way. I know it's difficult to say, it's harder to say than do, but you have to see it as an positive thing. Probably try and motivate yourself. There are certain instances jahan pe when I was on 99 and I was given out, I mean, to reach from 0 to 99, it takes an entire day's sweat and hard work, and then just a small mistake can just ruin your day. But again, I mean, if you get dejected and if you start blaming others, then you will not be able to repeat the work which you have done again. So rather than
वहां पे पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड रखने के लिए किसी ने मदद की, किसी का गाइडेंस उसने दो,
या
अंदर से ही आया है?
No, see, what happens is that early days में क्या होता था, I used to get angry. Obviously, young age में सब enthusiastic होते हैं, you just have to express. लेकिन senior teammates, your captain, your coaches, they help you calm down. वो आप उनसे जितना बात करोगे, उतना वो आपको बता देती है how should you look at the game, how should you look at this certain situation, and then you learn from your experiences. So जब आपको पता चलता है कि a bad decision मिलता है, and then you start to accept it as a part and parcel of a sport. Rather than taking it personally, you look at it as a okay, ये हो गया है, what next, how can I become better next time. So अगर मैं LBW out हुआ हूँ, तो how can I make sure when I'm in 99 next time I don't let ball hit my pads. So that is what would be my thought process going forward. So it was definitely something. I wouldn't say that I was godly gifted or something. I think I had to definitely take the help of my colleagues, friends. I think I have been talking to you quite a few times in my corporate decisions as well. Whenever I mean, like a coach or a mentor, if you remember, I do take your suggestions every now and then, be it just a 5-minute phone call or something. But I think it definitely helps. So yes, that is where.
Rohit, one more point.
Yes,
you talk teamwork. You said that in corporate teamwork बहुत important है, और ये आपको स्पोर्ट्स की वजह से सीखने को मिला. तो यहाँ पे मैं एक फर्क मतलब बताना चाहता हूँ आपको. आपने बेसिकली 2 स्पोर्ट्स खेले, एक था क्रिकेट, दूसरा था खो खो, एंड बोथ आर टीम गेम्स. अगर आप आज बच्चों की तरफ देखोगे ना, तो मोर एंड लेस दे वुड प्रेफर टू प्ले द इंडिविजुअल गेम्स. बैडमिंटन है या फिर टेनिस है. क्रिकेट दे डू लाइक, क्रिकेट वो खेलना पसंद नहीं करते ऐसा नहीं है, पर वहां पर भी ना बहुत बार इंस्टेड ऑफ द टीम इंडिविजुअलिस्टिक अप्रोच थोड़ा सा दिखाई देता है. और क्रिकेट के बारे में आपने कहा कि कैरेक्टर डेवलपमेंट में उसका फायदा हुआ. हम तो आजकल थोड़ा सा जोकिंगली, मतलब जो भी और स्पोर्ट्स लवर, विद ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट लवर, पर हम जोकिंगली कहते हैं कि क्रिकेट इज नो मोर अ जेंटलमैन्स गेम. पर आपने कहा कि कैरेक्टर डेवलप करने के लिए भी उसका आपको मतलब एज अ स्पोर्ट आपको फायदा मिला. ये 2 पॉइंट पे मैं थोड़ा सा और जानकारी चाहूंगा कि टीम गेम आप देते हो तो उसका क्या इंपॉर्टेंस रहता है, and second is how it helps to build a character.
Yeah, I'll start with the team game. कैसे help करा मुझे. So अगर आप देखोगे तो when I played for India, मेरे टीम में लोग थे from आंध्र प्रदेश, from राजस्थान, from Delhi, from Gujarat, from Punjab. So across the India, everybody was there when I was playing under 19 India. Okay, obviously India team, तो सब जगह से representation होता है. So हर एक के choices, हर एक के style of living. So अगर मैं किसी एक पे एक जोक करता हूँ, अगर सेम जोक मैं उस दूसरे बंदे पे करता हूँ from different state, he may not like it. So every individual coming from different state has different likes, dislikes. His upbringing is different. इसलिए I can guess कि ये बंदा कैसा है या ये आदमी कैसा है, मुझे इससे कैसे बिहेव करना चाहिए. अगर कोई गुजरात से तो मुझे उससे कैसे बात करनी है. There are certain words या certain phrases which I cannot use with everyone, right? Because it can be derogatory for somebody from different states. So that definitely helps. Also, teamwork क्या सिखाता है? To fight for each other. So even though you are coming from different states, you're playing for your individual teams, when you are together, you are fighting for each other. So जैसे अगर मैं किसी के साथ बैटिंग कर रहा हूं, अगर मैं 99 पे हूं, जैसा मैंने एग्जांपल दिया थोड़ी देर पहले, और सामने वाला बंदा अगर आउट हो जाता है, वो लास्ट विकेट है, तो आई विल स्टे ऑन 99. सो इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प माय सेंचुरी, राइट? सो व्हाई टीम वर्क इज इंपॉर्टेंट. ऑल्सो आई लाइक दिस एग्जाम्पल टू बी गिवन टू एवरी टाइम. टीम वर्क ने मुझे कैसे सिखाया, जैसे मैं एग्जाम्पल दे, सचिन तेंदुलकर या कोहली अगर 100 पे 100 रन बनाते जाते हैं, लेकिन अगर बॉलर्स अच्छे से परफॉर्म नहीं करते, तो वी आर गोइंग टू लूज. That is how in corporate life as well, in my team, there can be people from different states like Tamil Nadu, from Haryana, from Punjab. So this initial days of me exposed to cricket or kho-kho, it allowed me that sense कि मुझे corporate life में भी इन लोगों से कैसे behave करना चाहिए. Because I had that age कि अगर कोई, मतलब मैं मेरे दोस्तों के साथ पूना के या महाराष्ट्र के, उनके साथ जैसे बिहेव करता हूँ, जैसे बात करता हूँ, it may not work with them. Simultaneously, one very good example which I can think of is that this motivation factor which I was talking about for the leaders can work differently with different individuals. If I am talking to a colleague and I am telling him that okay, you can do it, आप कर सकते हो, आप में वो ability है, करो, तो that may work from him. लेकिन एक दूसरा कलीग होता है, उसके लिए थोड़ा शॉक ट्रीटमेंट चाहिए होता है. उसको मैं उल्टा बोल सकता हूँ कि यार ये तुमसे नहीं हो रहा है, तो तुम मुझे बता दो, मैं दूसरे को एक्टिविटी दे दूंगा ये. And that works as a shock treatment for him, and then that colleague is in a sense to prove me wrong, he achieves that thing. So ये जो स्पोर्ट्स और कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ में जो थोड़े कनेक्शंस हैं, ये डेफिनेटली मुझे टीम वर्क की वजह से I was able to relate it and I was able to implement it subconsciously or consciously, sometimes consciously, but most of the times it happens subconsciously. And दूसरा आपने सवाल जो पूछा, character building. So yes. So, I look at Sachin Tendulkar and Rahul Dravid. Okay, you can find, hardly 10 or 15 people across India who can say, no, you're wrong. But most of the people will say yes. How they manage their, routine, how were they presenting themselves on the ground. So they were like a leaders, you look at them and you aspire to be like them. So, it's not always, in every field, you see there are, bad apples. But, I look at Tendulkar, Dravid, Ganguly. I mean, these are, they are different characters which definitely inspire you and help you and motivate you, achieve new things.
That's right. अभी आपने रूटीन की बात की, तो थोड़ा सा मैं पीछे आपको लेकर जाऊंगा. When you were in school, तो रूटीन क्या था आपका? आप 2 खेल खेल रहे थे, क्रिकेट भी खेल रहे थे, खो खो भी खेल रहे थे. आज सिंजेंटा में काम करते हो, MBA फाइनेंस कंप्लीट किया, मतलब एजुकेशन भी सारा कंप्लीट किया. तो एग्जैक्टली जब आप स्कूल में थे, तो आपका रूटीन क्या था एग्जैक्टली?
ओके, जैसे मैंने पहले कहा, क्रिकेट वाज जस्ट 2 months स्पोर्ट फॉर मी, जो अप्रैल 15 से शुरू होता था और 31 मई तक चलता था. एंड मैं 11-12 साल का था, मैं जाता था क्रिकेट खेलने. खो खो फॉर मी, आई थिंक आई वाज प्लेइंग खो खो मोर पैशनेटली देन क्रिकेट, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट. खो खो क्योंकि मेरे स्कूलमेट्स, मेरे कॉलेज क्लासमेट्स सब लोग इवनिंग में खो खो खेलने आते थे, मैं उनके साथ चला जाता था. एवरी इवनिंग आफ्टर द स्कूल, from my school to the ground, it was about 2.5 kilometers. So we friends would just walk across the streets and just reach the ground and practice there. But for cricket, if you ask me, I started very serious cricket when I was 14. और तब जाके मेरा एक्चुअल रूटीन बिल्ड हुआ. सो मैं सवेरे 6:30 to 8:30 प्रैक्टिस करने जाता था on a ground which probably is around 4.5 kilometers from my place. I used to take the bicycle with the huge kit on my shoulders, and then I used to, go to ground, practice there for 2.5 years. Fortunately, our school was in the afternoon shift, so I used to come back super tired, get ready, take a, probably, quick nap or something, then again take the bicycle, go to school. Again 4 or 5 kilometers of bicycle. Then the entire day of school, and then evening I would play kho-kho, just like I mentioned. So it was jam-packed, way too busy schedule. The very important question is about the studies. I completed my MBA because my parents always said that even though, they could see, they were able to see that I was achieving good things. In 1 year, in fact, I skipped 2 exams when I was in 9th grade. So I appeared for the first unit test and directly on the final exams, because in the, 6-monthly exam and the 3rd semester, I was once out for cricket nationals and once out for kho-kho nationals. There were a lot of pressure from school as well and from my parents as well. But they always said that no matter how successful you may become here, you have to have this, backup plan where you have to complete at least one of your master's degree. So you cannot just rely on sports. You cannot just keep on playing sport, but आपको studies को भी उतना ही importance देना है. We are not expecting you to be doctor or engineer, for that matter CA, because probably they knew that how good I was in studies, so they did not pressurize me probably at that point of time. So they asked me, at least you should have one meaningful degree which can, in latter life you can at least think of if you want to switch on to any other role. So it was like total support from this family and the entire ecosystem, and that is how my daily schedule would look like. In fact, just to highlight, when there were matches which were in the season of September to January, I would practice in the morning, 6:30 to 8:30, go to school. Then there was a school cricket practice from 4:30 to 6:30. And then after 6:30, I used to come to Kho-Kho. Then 6:30 or 6:45 to 8:30, and then I used to go home. This would continue for 3 or 4 months until we get into the summer or, then into the, monsoon season. So a hectic, but probably now I think it's hectic, but at that time I was probably enjoy like anything.
I think, but you were fortunate because at that particular point of time, there were no mobiles and there were no online games. So probably you can go to playground and play the real games.
Definitely. I think I can definitely thank God for that these inventions happen, when I probably have little less interest in having more physical activity or play competitive level. But I can definitely thank God for that these inventions came later.
सबसे पहला मैच कब खेला रोहित?
See, I was 13, मैं 13 साल का था तब सबसे मैंने पहले मैच खेला. एंड आई स्टिल हैव दोज मेमोरीज वो मैच के. अभी भी मुझे गूज़बम्स आते हैं वो मैच के बारे में मैं सोचता हूँ तो, because it was a sad day in my starting journey, because first match था, I was so motivated, यार मेरा first match है. And then जब मैच शुरू हुआ मैं बॉलिंग कर रहा था तो आई थिंक प्रेशर और लैक ऑफ स्किल, आई डोंट नो, बट मेरा ओवर ही कंप्लीट नहीं हो रहा था. सो इट केप्ट ऑन गोइंग. So then captain came to me and said कि भाई अब तेरा ओवर बंद कर या मैं दूसरे को दे देता हूँ. So it was like an eye opener for me. मुझे उस वक्त पता चला कि it's not easy as it seems from outside. And again, like I said, I did not know at that point of time that how I would take this, but again it sparked as a motivation and I started practicing more harder. And then and then it just kicked off and I just started enjoying cricket.
और कौन से गेम के बाद ऐसा लगा रोहित कि यस इसी को अभी मुझे कंटिन्यू करना है? आई नीड टू प्ले क्रिकेट, आई नीड टू प्ले कॉम्पिटिटिव क्रिकेट, आई नीड टू सिलेक्ट क्रिकेट एज माय पैशन एंड एज माय प्रोफेशन प्रोबेबली.
मैं अंडर 16 महाराष्ट्र का कैप्टन चुना गया. इट वाज लिटिल शॉक फॉर मी एज वेल, प्लेजेंट शॉक, क्योंकि आई वाज प्रीडोमिनेंटली बॉलर एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम व्हेन आई वाज यंग. 15-16 साल का था तब तो लोग मुझे बॉलर की हैसियत से देखते रहे, स्पिनर. तो स्पिनर्स यूजुअली या फिर बॉलर्स यूजुअली कैप्टन नहीं होते, तो मुझे वो कैप्टन बनाया गया. सो उस टाइम पे मुझे थोड़ा ऐसा रियलाइजेशन हुआ कि अरे मुझ में शायद ऐसा कुछ है जो ये लोग देख रहे हैं, मुझे कैप्टनसी की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दे रहे हैं, तो मतलब कुछ और भी स्किल सेट्स मेरे में होंगे जिसकी वजह से मुझे इतना एक्सपोजर दे रहे हैं. एंड दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम मुझे ऐसा लगा कि अरे हाँ मुझे इसमें और फोकस करना चाहिए और टाइम स्पेंड करना चाहिए और प्रोबेबली स्किल्स में कैसे इंप्रूव कर सकूं उस पे ध्यान देना चाहिए. एंड दैट इज हाउ आई स्टार्टेड एंड फोकसिंग मोर ऑन इट. Unfortunately, that had bad consequences on my focus on cricket because I was not able to spend too much time with my friends in Kho-Kho.
पीक पॉइंट क्रिकेट में वीरेंद्र सहवाग से अवार्ड मिला.
Okay. Other than that, I think that was award given by him when he was not playing. But the peak point was when I was playing Ranji Trophy game between Maharashtra and Bihar. Then it was Bihar, it was in Jharkhand, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni was just on the scenes. I mean, he was just like a sensation. And then I was able to take his wicket in a competitive match. So even today, if somebody, my friends, I mean, jokingly, I tell them that, boss, don't say, I mean, Dhoni may have scored many runs, but he was not able to hit me out of the ground. I was able to take his wicket. So that still says as and fortunately, we did not have to play again with each other. So I am still on top of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So probably that was my, the biggest success, I would say. Of course, under 19 India is definitely a, achievement, I would say, because it's, I mean, representing your nation be it at any level. It definitely gives you that pleasure. So definitely that was really helpful.
और फिर रोहित वो टर्न कब आया कि जब लगा कि शायद क्रिकेट नहीं है मेरे लिए अब?
ओके, अंडर 19 इंडिया में खेल मतलब वो सीरीज खत्म हुई अगेंस्ट इंग्लैंड, एंड देन अनफॉर्चुनेटली आई हैड अ नी इंजुरी, सो आई हैड टू गो अंडर द नाइफ. मतलब मेरे नी का ऑपरेशन हुआ, which kept me out of the sport for 8 to 9 months. So entire year I was not able to play. That point of time, my mother would speak to me. So she never said directly to me कि ये देखो क्या हो सकता है. But she was trying to give me that hint that, okay, this is a sport, or every field is full of uncertainty. So you should always think from, backup plan perspective. And then I had a good long thought. 9 months I had to do nothing. I just having the brace on my leg and I was just, walking around, and उस time पे मुझे ऐसे realization हुआ कि no, I mean, it can happen to me. If it has happened today, it can happen to me anytime. It can be this injury or the other injury which can just stop, which can just not allow me to play sport anymore. And that is when I, after graduation, I mean, obviously I had thought about it. After graduation, I, enrolled myself for MBA. Again, I was not able to attend the full-time course because of my other commitments, kho, cricket and everything. I used to travel almost 6 to 8 months during the year. So, but I knew that I had to complete MBA. And after playing, sorry,
please continue.
Okay, so at some point of time, I realized I think it was a hard realization or difficult for me to digest that probably this is where I have reached and I think I have stuck here now. So what next? And that is when I, not easy decision, लेकिन मैंने वो decision लिया कि मुझे अभी एक full time job भी करना चाहिए, because obviously not like IPL in today's world. You never used to get that handsome money. Obviously it was a good money. It was more of a pride and everything. But yeah, that is when I thought कि मुझे एक parallel career भी चाहिए जहाँ पे मैं I can spend the rest of my life.
पर एमबीए की पढ़ाई करते वक्त जब क्रिकेट की मैच टीवी पर देखते होगे तो कभी ऐसा नहीं लगा कि काश मैं भी वहां होता, ये मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, या
ये
इट इज अ
तो
कंपल्शन ऑन मी, नो गॉड हैज इनजस्टिस टू मी, ऐसा नहीं लगा कभी? वो क्रिकेट ये क्या खेल रहे हैं, मैंने तो महेंद्र सिंह धोनी को आउट किया है.
ये तो एमबीए नहीं है. आज भी अगर मैं मैच देखता हूँ तो मुझे कभी कभी लगता है अरे यार ये क्या कर रहा है, ये तो मैं भी कर सकता था इससे अच्छा. अगेन लाइक आई सेड, इट्स इजियर ऑन टीवी. यू कैन इजीली से कि ये यार ये मैं कर सकता था. इट्स नॉट दैट. ऑफ कोर्स देयर आर डिजेक्शंस, सौरव की अगर मैं थोड़ा और मैं कर सकता था क्या थोड़ा और. आई थिंक आई लुक एट इट एज माय पॉजिटिव स्किल या पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड कि even though I have achieved fair bit of things, but I still feel that it's incomplete. Probably that probably is good quality which I see, which again cricket and the sport has given me, that never to be satisfied. If I had been satisfied, probably मैं इतना क्रिकेट में भी या खो खो में अचीव नहीं कर सकता और कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ में भी मैं सेटल हो जाता कोई एक छोटे से जॉब में जहाँ पे मैं 9 से 5 काम करके घर पे आके आराम कर रहा हूँ. But yes, there are these tough times when I'm watching cricket. But I think I've agreed it and moved on with it.
रोहित, पर खो खो भी आप खेलते थे तो क्रिकेट के दोस्त कभी हंसते नहीं थे, ये क्या खेलता है तू खो खो वगैरह?
No, in fact, surprisingly, in fact, they used to admire me because वो लोग जब फिटनेस करते थे ना मुझे कुछ नहीं करना पड़ता था, because वो लोग बहुत दौड़ते थे और मैं सिर्फ इवनिंग में 2 घंटे खो खो खेलता था. फॉर्चुनेट इनफ खो खो भी ऐसे लगता है कि बारिश के टाइम में कुछ एक्टिविटी होती नहीं है, बट आई मीन देयर आर लॉट ऑफ एक्टिविटीज व्हिच हैपन इन खो खो एज वेल. लाइक वी प्ले alternate sport like football. We also have these cross country runs and we build our stamina during that period. So cricket friends in fact used to admire me and then used to be jokingly jealous about me that यार तेरा तो अच्छा है यार, तुझे अलग से दौड़ना नहीं पड़ता है, तू ये खो खो खेलता है तो 2 घंटा तेरे लिए बहुत हो जाता है. So that in fact was really helpful for me. I think in any I mean like just to give an example, हर क्रिकेट सीजन के पहले फिटनेस टेस्ट होता है कि तुम लोगों ने जो लास्ट सीजन खत्म होने के बाद बीच के 4-6 महीने में कितना स्वीट्स खाया है, कितना क्या करा है, उसका वो सारा रोका जोका हो जाता था वहां पे. लेकिन मैं खो खो 12 महीने ही खेलता था तो मेरे लिए इजी था. सो आई यूज्ड टू बी फिट, I used to be ready on the day one with the fitness test and everything. So that in fact positively helped me. And even my friends used to admire me. It's not like कि ये कौन सा देसी खेल खेल रहा है तू. No, they never had any मतलब ऐसे कोई उसे नीचे नहीं दिखता था कोई. I think I like that about those guys as well. In fact, they were really happy about it that I'm playing Kho.
वेरी गुड। तो अभी क्रिकेट का करियर खत्म होने के बाद पहला जॉब कहाँ मिला, कैसे मिला?
ओके, सो क्रिकेट का करियर खत्म हो गया, लेकिन क्रिकेट ने मेरा पीछा नहीं छोड़ा। सो मेरा पहला जॉब भी मुझे मिला वो बिकॉज ऑफ द क्रिकेट इन वन ऑफ द कॉर्पोरेट बैंक्स इन पुणे। वो लोग क्रिकेट का टीम उनका था, तो उनको ऑब्वियसली क्रिकेटर्स चाहिए होते हैं, बट again once you start going into banks or any other corporate job, cricket is secondary, but you want someone to work as, or you want someone to work but in cricket as well। तो मैं क्रिकेट अच्छा खेलता था, ऑब्वियसली रणजी ट्रॉफी, इंडिया अंडर 19 खेला था, तो मुझे बैंक में जॉब मिल गया। बैंक में जॉब मिल गया, अगेन देयर वाज लेस प्रेशर ऑन मी बिकॉज मुझे मालूम था मुझे क्रिकेट की वजह से जॉब मिला है। सो मैं मेरे तरफ देखने का लोगों का नजरिया था कि बाबा ये क्रिकेट में अच्छा कर रहा है तो ठीक है बाबा, ये थोड़ा इसका काम में थोड़ा 19-20 हो गया तो भी ये छुप जाएगा ये। पर
टॉन्ट नहीं देते थे कंपनी में? कोई बैंक में टॉन्ट नहीं देता, ये तो क्रिकेट वाला है, ये क्या करेगा, बैंक भी ठीक से नहीं करेगा, जो है वो
तो
रट
देते
के जाएगा?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, दैट इज वेरी कॉमन। वो बोलते थे कि हाँ तुम लोगों को क्रिकेट के लिए लिया है तो शायद तुम क्या ही काम करोगे, दो इधर हम कर लेंगे। बट दैट वाज इनिशियल स्टेज। बट क्या हुआ, आई मीन मुझे वो सीखने की इच्छा थी, इसलिए मैंने जब बैंक में ज्वाइन किया तो आई वाज क्यूरियस। मैं पूछता था ये क्या हो रहा है, ये क्यों हो रहा है, अगर तुम लोग ये अगर मंथ एंड में ये पोस्टिंग्स कर रहे हो या एट द एंड ऑफ द डे ये तुम अगर तुम फॉर एग्जाम्पल कैश का स्क्रोल तुम चेक कर रहे हो तो क्या करते हो तुम, ये क्यों करते हो? सो आई थिंक दैट हेल्प देम टू चेंज द माइंडसेट, और उनका नजरिया चेंज हो गया मेरी तरफ देखने का कि अरे हाँ ये थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट ले रहा है बंदा, मतलब ये ऐसे नहीं है कि भाई मैं आ गया मुझे क्रिकेट के लिए लिया है, मुझे तुम्हारे काम से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है। लेकिन उनको भी वो थोड़ा रियलाइजेशन हुआ, अगेन दिस क्यूरियोसिटी विच कम्स फ्रॉम द स्पोर्ट, लाइक यू नो आपको इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा पैदा होता है, यार ये क्यों हो रहा है, मेरे से क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, मुझे क्यों ये करना चाहिए। सो टॉन्ट्स थे, बट देन you if you let them impact your what I say mindset, then you are in trouble. Lekin if you look at it, if you I wouldn't say positively, but work on your strengths, if you use your skills which you have learned and act on it, then probably it helps you.
रोहित, पर बहुत सारे लोग हैं कि जो जो उन्होंने सिलेक्ट किया हुआ गेम है लाइक क्रिकेट, वो अच्छा नहीं खेलते तो वो कोचिंग में चले जाते हैं, खुद नहीं खेल सकते पर उनको लगता है कि कोच वो अच्छा कर सकते हैं, या कंसल्टेशन में चले जाते हैं, एकेडमी खोलते हैं खुद की, तो दैट पास वाज आल्सो अवेलेबल टू यू, तो वो छोड़ के कॉर्पोरेट ही क्यों आपने चुना?
I think very good question. I think I'll have to think about it now. But no, to be very honest, I was little distant from cricket at that point of time, क्योंकि मेरा जो कॉर्पोरेट रोल शुरू हुआ, आई मीन फर्स्ट बैंक के बाद जो मेरा दूसरा रोल, क्योंकि मैं जो पहला रोल कर रहा था बैंक में, उसके बाद मैं आई जॉइन किर्लोस्कर्स। किर्लोस्कर्स इज अ प्रोफेशनल कंपनी एज वेल एज दे हैड अ क्रिकेट टीम एज वेल। लेकिन जब मैं 9 to 5 जॉब शुरू कर दिया मैंने कॉर्पोरेट, then I also realized at that point of time that my MBA and my cricketing skills मुझे हेल्प कर रहे हैं इन अ वे कि मैं जो कॉर्पोरेट काम कर रहा हूँ, जो आई वाज इन फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग एंड एनालिसिस, उसमें भी आई एम एबल टू अचीव गुड थिंग्स, एंड आई वाज क्विकली स्टार्टेड वर्किंग क्लोजली विथ माय फाइनेंस हेड, CEOs एंड CFOs। सो उसकी वजह से मैं थोड़ा सा एक्टिव क्रिकेट से थोड़ा दूर गया, बट अगेन यू कैन नॉट टेक अ स्पोर्ट आउट ऑफ अ स्पोर्ट्समैन, so वो still अंदर है। So I still think I have time to get back to cricket, probably do something in coaching or something, but yes, I think I'll take it as a cue and I'll work on it.
गौतम गंभीर ने या पार्थिव पटेल ने कभी फोन नहीं किया दोबारा, कह रहे क्रिकेट नहीं खेलता तो कुछ कोचिंग वगैरह तो कर?
नहीं, बिकॉज नहीं है, मतलब मेरा खेल ऑब्वियसली, मेरा खेल खत्म होने के बाद वो लोग कॉम्पिटिटिव ऑब्वियसली खेल रहे थे, तो मैं उनसे पूना में जब आते थे या फिर आसपास मुंबई में कभी मैचेस होते थे, और अगर मैं मुंबई में था तो हम लोग मिलते थे, मैं उनसे बात होती थी। बट आई थिंक इट वाज मोर प्रोफेशनली होती थी कि क्या हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है। इट वाज नेवर कि तुम ये क्यों नहीं कर रहे हो, वो क्यों नहीं कर रहे हो, इन्फ्लुएंसिंग ऐसे सॉर्ट ऑफ नहीं किया। ऑब्वियसली उन्होंने पूछा कि तुम क्यों बंद कर रहे हो क्रिकेट, क्यों नहीं खेल रहे हो, but then they probably agreed to the reasons which I had at that point of time. Of course, they said कि this is not, I mean they would obviously miss this decision of mine. लेकिन yes, I think they probably agreed to what I was going through at that time.
पर किर्लोस्कर के बाद आप एक के बाद एक दूसरी एमएनसी चेंज करते रहे। आई थिंक यू वेंट देयर टू हनीवेल टर्बो, और हनीवेल के बाद अभी सिंजेंटा। अभी कैसा लग रहा है जर्नी, क्या दिख रहा है, कैसे दिख रहा है?
ओके, सो जस्ट लाइक स्पोर्ट, मुझे ऐसा कभी नहीं लगा था कि मैं कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ में भी, आई विल नॉट से कि मैं बहुत कुछ अचीव कर चुका हूँ, लेकिन जो कुछ भी अचीव कर चुका हूँ उसमें आई हैड नेवर थॉट अबाउट इट, लेट्स से 6 और 7 इयर्स बैक कि मैं यहाँ तक पहुंचूंगा। लेकिन अब जाके मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगेन आई एम रिलेटिंग माय स्पोर्ट्स एंड माय बैकग्राउंड टू इट, कि मुझे स्पोर्ट्स का बहुत 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 इसमें हेल्प हुई। जहां पे अभी मैं हूँ, द लेवल ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस, द इन्फ्लुएंसिंग स्किल्स, द कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, these all which I had gained from my experience in sports, वो मुझे यहाँ पे बहुत डे इन डे आउट हेल्प कर रही है। सो एवरी टाइम आई गो टू ऑफिस, आई नो अरे ये तो मैं करता था और अब मुझे करना है, अब मैं ये ग्राउंड पे करता था, अब ये मुझे ऑफिस में करना है। सो आई फील मोर कंफर्टेबल। इट रियली रिलीजेस स्ट्रेस, क्योंकि मैं बहुत लोगों को देखता हूँ ऑफिस में, उनको टाइम मैनेजमेंट से लेके, एटीट्यूड से लेके, या फिर टीम वर्क विद इन द टीम को टीम में कैसे मैनेज करना है उससे लेके बहुत स्ट्रेस रहते हैं। बट आई थिंक सबकॉन्शियसली all this journey for me has definitely helped release the stress and be more relaxed person in the corporate life as well.
थैंक यू रोहित। मेरे पास बहुत सारे सवाल है, बट आई थिंक आई शुड ओपन द फोरम फॉर अदर्स आल्सो टू आस्क द क्वेश्चंस इफ एनी। तो अगर आपको भी कुछ सवाल पूछने हैं तो यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम टू आस्क द क्वेश्चंस टू रोहित। द फोरम इज
Yes,
ओपन।
please. I think I would be happy to answer. I will try to answer.
बाय दैट टाइम एक सवाल आपको पूछ के रखता हूं मैं।
Yes, please.
फाइनेंस सिर्फ करने से कॉर्पोरेट में करियर नहीं बनाया जा सकता। जैसे स्पोर्ट्स एकेडमी में सिर्फ जाने से क्रिकेट के रणजी तक आप नहीं पहुंच सकते। तो वो क्या खासियत है जो क्रिकेट एकेडमी से रणजी तक ले गया, और वो सिर्फ एमबीए फाइनेंस से आपको कॉर्पोरेट के अच्छे अभी ये अच्छा आपका सिंजेंटा में आप ग्लोबल रिपोर्टिंग लीड में है, वो क्या हो सकता है, वो क्या करेक्ट हो सकता है?
Okay, again I will stress on attitude and teamwork. That is very critical skills one has to have. So I take first, पहले मैं एग्जांपल लूंगा क्रिकेट एकेडमी से मैं इंडिया अंडर 19 तक कैसे गया। सो क्रिकेट एकेडमी में बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं, इंडिया में तो बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं, लेकिन व्हाट मेक्स यू स्टैंड आउट इज आपका एटीट्यूड कैसा है, आपका दूसरों के तरफ बर्ताव कैसा है, आप एज अ टीम मेंबर कैसे हो। आप इंडिविजुअली बहुत अच्छे हो सकते हो, बट अगर आपका टीम को फायदा नहीं है या टीम मोटिवेशन में या आपकी वजह से टीम डिस्टर्ब हो रही है, देन यू आर इन ट्रबल। सो ये दो क्वालिटी जो थी उस पर मैंने बहुत सारा वर्क किया, कॉन्शियसली भी किया और सबकॉन्शियसली भी होते गया। तो मैंने डिसाइड किया था कि मैं ये दो चीजें कभी नहीं छोड़ूंगा, टीम वर्क, becoming happy or enjoying the success of your team member and showing the positive attitude towards each and every situation which is coming along will definitely help me। ये मुझे पता चल गया था। Same thing happened with corporate life as well. Obviously, I proudly write that at the bottom of my CV that I have represented India under 19 everything. So in all the interview questions, they go through my education, qualification, and everything, and they ask me all functional questions. Some of them I just flaunt. I don't know, but I still try to answer them. But then comes a time in last 10 minutes where they want to understand who I am and ask you about the personal questions. So that is where they kickstart asking me that how do you think you will cope up with cricket at the ground to corporate life in AC offices. And again I would have the same answers, that how I relate my cricket to my corporate life. And sometimes charmingly it works. I think they also hiring managers or the organizations are definitely looking into someone who has a good attitude, who is a team player, and who can basically motivate others and gel well with the diverse colleagues or the members current in organizations which you have. So just keywords is attitude and the team being a team player are definitely taking somebody places. I can definitely say that.
Yes, thank you Rohit. Yeah, Ashish had one question. Yeah, please Ashish, then I will come back again, Rohit, with one serious question. Yeah, Ashish.
Sure.
Hello Rohit, good evening. It was great listening to you. I mean, it is inspiring. Though maybe I am also past the age of playing cricket, competitive cricket now, but still it reminds of the days, the beautiful energy we all had going in the sun, out in the playgrounds and playing cricket. So my question is, you played one day limited overs cricket as well. So what was your T-shirt number? Did you have any inspiration for your T-shirt number as well?
No, I mean, in cricket, probably we did not have the numbers as such, but when you're writing the name on the team sheet, I think there was a superstition where I would most invariably I would ask my name to be written as number 3. I don't know why. In fact, I know why, because in one of the matches when I played, I think my name was randomly written as 3rd, and then I used to score 100 runs in that match. So I took it as a superstition, and then I made sure that any time going forward, whenever I had the capacity to influence my coach or my captain, or if I was captain, then it was in my hands, but otherwise I was able to influence to please write my name as 3rd on the team sheet when we are exchanged with it. So 3 was my, and I also continued the same with Kho as well, where I would take, we used to wear those, bunions. I mean, it wasn't T-shirt in Kho, right? So I probably was stressing on 3, but then seniors like Pranjal and my other seniors, they would be, sometimes they had the first pick on those numbers. So I just had to rely on whatever was left.
But thank you for saying number 3, and you talked about superstitious. So I have one question relating to that only. बहुत बार हम luck और form की बात करते हैं. When someone does well, we call he's in good form, and if someone suddenly fails, then we call it's a bad luck. मतलब बहुत बार ये देखा है, एक सिंपल सा कैच छोड़ देते हैं, तो डिफिकल्ट है वो भी ले लेते हैं, and we forgot that it was dropped on 0. आपको क्या लगता है मतलब ये लक और फॉर्म जो है उसके बारे में क्या लगता है? when you are doing well, it's a luck. When you are doing well, it's a form. And unfortunately, you are not doing good, then it's a luck.
I think ये मैंने बहुत बार टीवी पे सुना है, बहुत सीनियर लोगों से सुना है. I think they say you make your luck. So more you practice, the more luckier you become. So I think form में क्या होता है? Sometimes your bad things or your drawbacks expose नहीं होते हैं, और जब जैसे ही वो मतलब over a period of time expose हो जाता है, then people starting to say is that यार इसका लक खराब चल रहा है. So it's not like that. So जब भी हम बोलते हैं कि ये फॉर्म में है, इसका मतलब उसका कुछ एक ड्रॉबैक है जो अभी तक किसी अपोनेंट ने एक्सपोज नहीं किया है. जैसे ही वो एक्सपोज हो जाता है, it becomes a luck, and then that guy or that person goes back into the nets or the practice session और कहीं पे भी चला जाता है, and then he practices on his drawbacks and he comes back and then he's in form. So that is how I look at form or the luck.
Okay, thank you, Rohit.
Hi Rohit, I have one question for you. So it has been to know about your journey, but sometimes like as a player, you might be having some mood swings as well. So during the day of the match, you are not in a good mood, and still you have to play, still you have to perform. So how you would have handled all this pressure? I would like to know that.
Yeah, sure. So ऐसा बहुत बार होता था कि मैच के पहले दिन इवनिंग से, यानी मैच को जैसे आप सवेरे पहुंचते हो, when you reach the ground, you are off. You're not in a mood to play. You're not in a like any other human being. You are tired and you don't feel like doing anything. So important role उस time पे होता था कि you pick yourself up, make sure that you're resilient, because again, if you yourself are not in a good mood and you don't want to compete and perform in the match, then you're letting your teammates down. That is not how it will work, because one bad decision or one lack of focus from your side can cost you the match. So I think it was more from the practicing the resilience or the endurance over a period of time was helping on such a day कि अगर मेरा मूड नहीं है आज, मैं बहुत डाउन फील कर रहा हूँ, then motivate yourself कि नहीं, अगर मैं even if I'm feeling down, लेकिन मुझे करना है. And think that you want to achieve not for yourself but also for your team as well. So this is how we used to motivate sometimes. So inner motivation used to help in such kind of scenarios.
Okay, one more question.
Yeah.
कि जैसे काफी प्लेयर के बारे में सुना है कि while they are batting, while they are bowling, it is a kind of a meditative experience for them. So आपके बारे में क्या ऐसा, did you feel the same thing?
Yes. The concentration levels are so high. मतलब लोग कभी कभी बोलते हैं, I mean, of course, मैंने जब क्रिकेट खेला तब ग्राउंड पे हजारों लोग नहीं हुआ करते थे. There used to be few players. लेकिन concentration level आपका इतना high हो जाता है over a period of time, then you are able to switch off and switch on. I think these are very important concepts in corporate life as well, because you're working on 9 to 5, that is where you're switched on. लेकिन जब आप घर आते हो, you should be able to switch off. क्योंकि आप अगर स्विच ऑफ नहीं करते और अगर आप ऑफिस का स्ट्रेस घर पे लेके आते हो, then it is very difficult for you to manage your work life balance. So that is very critical to have the switch off and switch on. So just to put it in a cricketing context, जब बैट्समैन बैटिंग कर रहा है, जब उस टाइम पे नॉट नेसेसरीली वो पूरे 6 या 8 घंटे फोकस्ड है. सी जब बॉलर दौड़ के आता है उसकी तरफ, तभी जाके वो स्विच ऑन हो जाता है. बॉल डालने के बाद जो भी कुछ रिएक्शन होता है, उसके बाद अगेन ही स्विचेस ऑफ बिटवीन 2 balls. So this is a very important and critical skill, switch off and switch on, which helps cricketers stay at their top of the performance during the matches as well.
Can I ask one question, Pranjal?
Sir, please.
Yeah, Rohit ji, thank you so much, and you are enlightening us. I have been a cricket fan right from my childhood, practically from a birth, and I had a great respect for the game of cricket. It was a gentleman's game. We have been talking about characterization, and I'm sure that you must be thinking morality is a part of character. Yeah? How good is the morality in the cricketers today? Because when I see Arshdeep Singh catching a ball and then dropping, I'm literally alleging that because I saw the match on TV.
Yeah.
Where is the morality? Are they playing for game of cricket or are they playing for themselves? So this is something which is bothering everybody, but everybody may not be able to talk about it.
Sure.
Let me ask you, as a cricketer, where do we stand as a cricketer? They're losing their respect very fast. They're losing their credibility very fast. I no longer love this game because of this very simple reason. I know cricket was a professional game, but I think it has been so commercialized. So I feel I'm a part of the racket there if I watch the match. Where is it leading to the game?
No, I think, I have a little different view on this. I mean, I can definitely understand the anger and, vivid cricket fan or an individual who was supporting the cricket for so much of period has once when we see such kind of mistakes, But if you ask me as a sportsman, I think these things do happen. I think in my, whatever limited career I had at India under-19 or Ranji Trophy, I have seen similar kind of catches have been dropped. I think it's a lack of or the momentary lapse of...
Sorry to say that, Kashinath ji, but
Sure.
This particular scene has never been shown again. They show everything in a slow motion. They repeat everything. And if you see that, because I saw that, it was like taking a catch and then dropping. It was an act of dropping. It didn't get dropped. And nobody wants to talk about it. Are you getting this point? It is very easy to discard this, saying, though, as a sportsman, we should take it. And I think we have heard enough about that.
No, I agree.
We need to really take it by seriousness.
Bull by the horns. Yeah, definitely agree. No, I agree with you. I think this comes to a mind of any cricketer or the cricket fan because whatever we have witnessed in the past, the match fixing scenarios or some of the people who were found guilty. But to be very honest, there are hardly 1% whom you would find as culprits. I can definitely vouch for 99% of the cricketers are committed to their nation and also committed to what they do. Honestly speaking, I believe that if you're making mess with the sport or if you're not loyal or the honest to the sport, then it does not give you back. It's just not sport but anything. If I'm not loyal to my team, loyal to my profession, then I'm going to definitely sometime get impacted. But in this case, I unfortunately I did not see it again. I saw that the catch was pretty simple. It was just straightforward, just like a looping in the air, and he just dropped it. But I would still say
something is just taken and dropped. What I'm trying to say, I've seen enough drop catches in life. I've been playing. I played up to the time shield. I didn't go beyond that for obvious reasons. But this is something which is not okay, and something which is not discussed. And something which has not been focused on.
Fishy, like I said, because of the past experiences which we had.
The whole media is supporting this activity. So is it a game? Is it a sport? Or is it some kind of a commercialization and exploitation?
See, it has definitely been commercial in last 10-15 years since the arrival of the IPL. Definitely the cricket has changed. Earlier it used to be more passionate. Even though we saw some aggression on the field from the players, having cursing each other, but then at the end of the day they would just have a drink together.
And if
Now,
you look at that, Kashinath ji, I mean, he was smiling thereafter. Now, I have seen players crying when they dropped the catch.
yeah.
I have seen Vinod Kambli crying when the match was lost.
It's
I have seen
disheartening.
Dilip crying when the match was lost. But what happened? There are no tears here.
My observation
I'm not
is
sensitive to 140 crore people who are putting their aspirations in you.
to be very honest, in my opinion, okay, it would be too blunt for an ex-cricketer to say. I think it's been too stressed on the players as well that it's just a part of a game. I mean, I can understand it's just a part of a game, but not that level of drop catches cannot be just part of a game. And alternatively, like I said, with the arrival of the IPL 10-12 years back, I think they are more, their focus is more on commercial aspects, probably. That is why they have this lack of, split second focus that could cost the game. But yeah, I definitely understand what you're trying to say. And it's definitely disheartening.
Basically, I'm vocalizing the emotions of the people.
I agree.
You're the one who has been very close to cricket and probably belong to the earlier generation than what it is today.
And probably that is why it is far more difficult for me to even, come to that phase where I can say that whether it's really fishy, whether he has dropped it deliberately or something. But I would still like to say that,
because unfortunately for us and unfortunately for them, we are watching TV and that's a very close distance. Somebody really wanted to analyze that. I think they should have done it so that they could stop. But nobody seems to be in a mood to stop these kind of things. So my fear is that when we are talking about sports and children, sports and career development, sports and studies, what impact it will make on the young generation. My fear is that the whole society may get corrupt. Cricket has that power.
Definitely, cricket has that power. I think it can make or break,
especially over this country.
And that is why this role of I would say BCCI and the media is far more critical in terms of how they look at such instances. Because any loose comment, to be very honest, I mean, it can be a genuine mistake. I'm not backing anyone, but it can be a genuine mistake. But if you start portraying it as a deliberate drop catch, then it can actually have a very bad influence on how society looks at it.
This is something happening on the field, but even in the off field, there were two advertisements which are running till about 6 months ago. One was Virat Kohli traveling in a train and pulling the chain, stopping the train and jumping out and say, pull the chain, it break the law. I mean, under what constitution it fits in, no matter what celebrity you are. I don't know really how censor allowed this particular advertisement to go out. I saw the series of advertisements that our friend Mahendra Singh Dhoni saying that don't be honest in life. He's teaching exactly the opposite what the Indian culture has established all these years. And still they get away with all this. No,
I agree.
Ultimately, they have a tremendous influence on the new generation.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree with you.
When we talk of Andhashraddha Nirmulan, there after all those people who are spiritual and religious and all. But what about this? No, they have also seen a wrong kind of a blind faith in certain things which are not values of this country. No, why did they not stop it? Tendulkar never did it, fortunately for all of us.
Exactly, I was coming. In fact, I was coming to that point. That is why I mentioned whom I look at it as a role model. I said Sachin Tendulkar is someone you can look up to. Rahul Dravid, which you can look up to. It's in our hands, right? Whom we should look up to as a leader.
The people like us, we don't want to know them closely. You know what Tendulkar must have done because you have seen them in a close quarter. We have not. Whatever the media projects, we take it as inputs. And that is, I think, that may corrupt the society. My fear is that cricket, which is so close to millions of people in their heart, and in my generation, we are getting disappointed, honestly.
Even I am disappointed as you are. Even I am disappointed as you are.
Concern is that. Cricket, game like cricket can really take this country on a very high morality if we maintain that. So something, I think, has to be done. I don't know who's going to do that. Mainly because we are relevant to that subject, the sports and the children, sports and the students.
Agree.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And for the benefit of all, अजित सर ने बहुत सारी चीजें सब लोगों को सिखाई. Rohit, for your information, he has taught more than 40,000 people under the banner of Reiki Vidya Niketan. But आज जो विषय चल रहा है स्पोर्ट्स का, he has also given a coaching to Daniel's Cricket Academy to cricket and relating to concentration and relating to how to maintain your balance and all these aspects.
Oh,
Yeah, Ashish,
fantastic.
you have a question, please.
Yes, yes. But as a cricketer, you would have to had traveled so much, outside your home city, going out for months. So how did this teach you, being independent in life, the survival skills? You might have need to be when you are abroad. You might need to cook something for yourself. So the skills which you learn to live outside your comfort zone, outside your home city. How did you learn that?
Yeah, very good question. In fact, when I went to Northern Ireland to play as a professional cricketer over there, so the season over there starts from mid-April to mid-September, so close to 5.5 months. और जब मैं वहां पे गया था तब I was 19-20, I had zero knowledge. मुझे वो दाल कौन सी होती है वो भी मैं गेस नहीं कर पाता था. अगर मुझे बोला जाता किसी ने कुछ पका हो तो it was very tough time for me. I mean, although I am a vegetarian, non-vegetarian person as well, but still, I mean, it was difficult for me when I went there. अब difficult कैसे था तो right from the language, because I mean मैं वहां पे गया तो वो लोग, I mean Northern Ireland, the Northern Irish people speak little different with different accents, so it was tough for me to even understand what they're trying to say, what they're trying to tell me, what their expectations are. Slowly, gradually, I started to gel with them and started to understand what their expectations are. Important thing was that I was not staying myself as someone else who has come from other country, but I was trying to get involved with their activities, how they would socialize, how would their culture be. I was trying to understand कि कैसा होता है उनका कल्चर, उनके कल्चर में अलग क्या होता है. मेरे लिए सब न्यू था, बहुत क्यूरियोसिटी थी कि 19 साल का था, मैं वहां पे गया था. वेदर वाज टोटली डिफरेंट. यहाँ पे हमारे ठंड में भी इतनी ठंड नहीं होती है उतनी उनके समर में वहां पे ठंड थी. So it was totally different experience for me. And coming to the food, I tried to use Google for a few months, for initial couple of months कि मैं कुछ बना सकता हूँ क्या. But उसके बाद मैं ग्रोसरी शॉप में जाके मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स ऐसे कुछ चीजें लेके आने लगा जो मैं रेडी टू कुक खा सकता हूँ. इंडियन स्टोर्स कुछ थे वहां पे फॉर्चुनेटली, तो रेडी टू कुक मैं खा सकता हूँ, जस्ट थोड़ा खिचड़ी वगैरह ऐसा कर सकता हूँ. बट I would say I was never bored of eating the same food again and again, because I knew that मैं वहां पे किस मोटिवेशन से और किस लिए आया हूँ. बिकॉज मेरा मोटिव ही अलग था. वहां पे मुझे कुछ नया सीखना था, क्रिकेट में नया करना था. जहां मैं मेरे कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर गया था, दैट वाज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मी, क्योंकि यहाँ पे मुझे सब पहचानते थे, मैं उनके साथ खेलता था. वहां पे जाके nobody knew who Kashinath is, so it was all unknown commodity, all unknown person over there, and it helped me a lot. And if I look today, it helps me to have an icebreaker with my international colleagues as well, so I can easily relate to them what they're trying to say. वो जब बात करते हैं इंग्लिश वेदर की, just to give an example, इंग्लिश वेदर की बात करते तो I can, even though it was long time back, I can relate कि हाँ कैसे हो सकता है. So I can at least start conversation when I'm talking to Europeans or when I'm talking to Americans. I can easily relate कि ये किस बारे में बात हो रही है. So I'm never lost in the transition. मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगता कि यार मैं अब इससे क्या बात करूँ. There is no awkward silence. And even the other person admires it. वो बोलता है हाँ बाबा, this is helping. So one after another, similar kind of things can happen, and you can start conversation. And if you ask me, most of the work gets done in last 5 minutes of the meeting in corporates, rather than in the first 40-45 minutes. जहाँ पे तुम उनसे socialize करते हो थोड़ा सा और तुम उनको थोड़ी bonding बना देते हो, वहाँ पे तुम्हारे decision ज़्यादा easy हो जाता है. So ये experience मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा था UK जाने का. Alone traveler, visa and everything. I mean, it was all unknown. I did not know कि क्या करना होता है. फ्लाइट में अकेले जाना है, इमिग्रेशन वाले रोकते हैं, कुछ सवाल पूछते हैं, क्यों जा रहे हो, क्या जा रहे हो, वो, and they have a different tone, right? It's not straightforward question, क्यों जा रहे हो सर वगैरह, ऐसा नहीं होता है. So they just want to get the answer out of you, and then you have to be very calm and everything, and tell them honestly, and don't be afraid of anything. That entire tour just taught me just don't be afraid of anything.
Wow, thank you Rohit. We are really at the end of the session. अगर कोई किसी को और सवाल पूछने, otherwise we will be closing the session soon. Thank you रोहित, आपने बहुत अच्छा बताया. बहुत बार लोग आपको पूछते हैं क्रिकेट और कॉर्पोरेट में क्या समानताएं हैं, तो you can tell them कि क्रिकेट में भी सी है, कॉर्पोरेट में भी सी है, डे एंड नाइट होता है, आजकल कॉर्पोरेट भी डे एंड नाइट होता है, क्रिकेट कलरफुल लाइक द कॉर्पोरेट भी ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट हो सकता है लाइक द क्रिकेट, और क्रिकेट में आप हार सकते हो, जीत सकते हो, वही कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ में भी होता है. एंड
Yes, there are a lot of
as you rightly said, अभी जब आशीष को आप रिप्लाई दे रहे थे, you can have the continuous conversation because you have been at UK, तो वेदर से तो एटलीस्ट स्टार्ट करके कॉन्वर्सेशन स्टार्ट कर सकते हो. सो जैसे क्रिकेट में खेलते हैं कि क्रिकेट में बोलते हैं कि व्हेन यू कैन नॉट गेट 4s and 6s, एटलीस्ट कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन सिंगल्स एंड डबल्स, और एंड रन रेट इज आल्सो एप्लीकेबल टू क्रिकेट एंड कॉर्पोरेट. तो आप ये बता,
Definitely.
नाइस सेंटेंस यू सेड, लीडर्स नीड नॉट रिक्वायर एनी डेजिग्नेशन एंड यू कैन बी अ लीडर ऑफ योर ओन लाइफ. तो ये 2 सेंटेंस मुझे बहुत पसंद है. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for sharing all these experiences. And now I officially hand it over to Amol for saying vote of thanks. Thank you. Yeah, Guruji, before that, Guruji's comments, sir.
Ji. Yeah, no, it's okay. Very, very wonderful kind of a session we had today. And I'm sorry for asking some tough questions, but I
No,
think
no,
he's
no,
the only
definitely
cricketer
not.
that I know lately.
No, definitely not.
I wish I could ask somebody from the Indian cricket team, but I
In
don't
fact,
think
I
I'm
was
going
happy.
to get that opportunity.
In fact,
Nearest one who comes is Kashinath.
In fact, I was happy somebody's thinking on the on those lines. In fact, I was happy to hear that.
basically, my emotions are, my cricket is getting spoiled. My cricket was never like this. My cricket was never like this.
Probably that hurts you more. Probably that hurts you more.
I'm feeling those pains. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
that
sure
hurts you
so
more
many
because
from my generation are feeling the pains.
I mean, yeah.
Because cricket has a tremendous influence in the people. They are celebrities. And unfortunately,
Agree.
all so-called celebrities are sending the wrong signals to new generation. See, after doing a research for the 17, 18 years on new generation, I realized what kind of personality trait they have. No, we are doing some special research on young sportsmen because I mean, their traits are so different, Kashinath. They don't belong to where you and I belong probably, or even some other generations in between.
Yeah.
You know? So my fear is, how are they going to keep the spirit of the sport? They're becoming so individualistic. They're becoming so, I mean, the money is the driving force. The country is no longer. That is the problem. They know their IPL, which will give them few lakh rupees. They don't have to pay for the Indian cap. You know? And I could imagine Gavaskar when he writes in his autobiography, and many a times he talks in his lectures also. He was thriving for that cap and the sweater. You know, and his mama told him, Madhav Mandri told him that he has got to earn it. Today, how many cricketers really feel that they should earn that? You know, things are coming too easy for them.
Yeah, agree.
That is a problem. See, I was fan. I used to go to that the Hindu Gymkhana and the Islam Gymkhana, all those Marine Drive Gymkhanas in Mumbai. We used to spend more time there than probably the cricketers, just waiting
at the necklace. At the necklace.
You know, we were crazy. And I think all that what we had an idea was lost. So anyway,
I probably
thank you very much for spending a wonderful time with us.
I think it was pleasure to be here and share my experience. I really thank you all for that.
Thank you so much. Any particular message for the new generation as far as integrity is concerned? Basically,
I think I'm too small a person to even give any message or any words out. But I would say mantra is be honest to yourself, be honest to your profession, and be honest to what you're doing. That will definitely help you and take you places.
Thank you so much. I think that's a big mantra for them. Thank you so much. Yes. Amol, over to you.
Thank you, Guruji, and thank you, Pranjal. Kashinath ji, it was really very inspiring and motivational to hear to you. I mean, I have enjoyed the entire talk, past 1.5 hours or so, and I'm sure all of our audience would be voicing the same comments. I think you touched upon all the important virtues which DSPPL also looks up to. You talked about resilience, you talked about attitude, you talked about character building. You gave a lot of stress to that, and I think that is what DSPPL is also all about. So I really feel that this program is going on so well, and it gels with our morale as well. Thank you so much for taking out the time and for sharing all your personal as well as professional experiences. I think Guruji also talks about these things, that having dreams without the ability leads to disaster. And I think you talked about you stressed about how you create your own abilities, right, so that you can achieve your dreams. So that's another important, I think, key takeaway that I would personally take, and I'm sure some of our audience would agree with me. So thank you so much, Kashinath, once again, and I would like to thank all the audience also for being so participative over here. Over to you, Pranjal.
Thank you very much, Amol. And we will also announce that next event will be on 24th September, and the flyer relating to that will also get circulated soon. Yeah. Now to Ashish. Yeah, thank you, Rohit. Thank you for joining. Ashish.
Yes. Can you make me the co-host? I want to share this.
Yeah. You are the co-host. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'll share my screen. So as part of the initiative by DSPPL, we are also, running a newsletter in 4 languages, which is by the name as Chaitanya. And, we are stressing on the focus of inculcating a reading habit among the students of DSPPL, the children among DSPPL, wherein basically in present generation, the kids are more into the watching media content which distracts them from the purpose of learning in their prime age of learning, actually. So this newsletter targets to grab the attention of the kids towards various subjects, be it sports, be it Vedas, be it understanding modern technology, ancient science. So a lot of in different formats. There are articles, there are stories, there are comics, there are quizzes. So this like in our generation, we had pen pal. We used to wait for our magazines to come where we used to read interesting article. Similarly, in this as well, we are looking to do that. Just I think my screen froze. Hold on. Sorry for the interruption. My screen is froze. Presentation is froze.
So basically, आपको भी अगर न्यूज़लेटर चाहिए नहीं मिल रहा है तो प्लीज सेंड एन ईमेल टू info.dsppl@gmail.com और आपको भी न्यूज़लेटर मिलेगा. You can even select the language. You can get it in English, you can get it in Hindi, you can get it in Marathi, या फिर आपको अगर हिंदी में चाहिए तो हिंदी में भी वो आपको मिल सकता है. या आशीष.
And we are also putting the newsletters now on the website. So dspppl.in पे आप जाके अभी तक के editions आप वहाँ पे जाके भी download करके आप पढ़ सकते हो. We have students participating in the quizzes and they are sending their answers to us, which it creates an interactive platform with the students. And as I said in the beginning, it is in 4 languages: English, Hindi, Gujarati, and Marathi. The last edition was about Ganpati, wherein we shared different Ganpati special, yes, wherein there were different dimensions of Ganpati discussed in various forms. There were articles by Guruji, articles by Pranjal sir, by Ashwini ma'am, and there were also some comic wherein conversation between Parvati and Ganesha discussing about Shiva. There was quiz. So it was a very lively and interactive edition, the previous one. And similarly, we go ahead with the next one, where we'll be also sharing the synopsis of today's session as well. The discussions which we had with Kashinath sir today, and how what messages he had shared with us in the lecture, those also we'll be sharing with you. So yes, as Pranjal said, if you want the copy of newsletter, just put an email to us at info@dspppl.in or WhatsApp on the number given in the screen, and we will send the copy to you in PDF and by email. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone who attended. We are closing the session now. Thank you.